Matt, Dane, you join us at the end of pre-season. The season starts in 4 days. Matt, how has pre-season gone overall?
I think it's been a real good pre-season for us. The fixtures that we've had have been a real challenge. Played Barnstaple, Buckland, Cullompton and Tavistock, and then Saltash Borough this week just to finish up. But the first 4 fixtures were all really competitive. The first 2 against high league opposition, and obviously we had Tavi in the Charity Bowl, and then Cullompton just before that as well. So delighted with the performances. Got a good amount of minutes into the players. The only downside really was the casualties that we took to some of our personnel. That means that we will be going into the season missing a few, but I'm sure all teams are in the same boat. But overall, really pleasing pre-season.
20 goals, Dane, in pre-season overall. Is that a good sign of things to come?
Well, yeah, hopefully. I mean, one thing we never really do have a problem with is scoring goals, and obviously a large proportion of them did come in one particular game where we played a lower league opposition. But to still have that return against predominantly teams that are in a division above us, or 2 in Barnstable's case, is a good return. What we've got to make sure is we keep them out at the other end, and we don't have a repeat of what went on against Tavistock, really. But we've been working hard against that, and as Matt said in an interview with Dave Deacon this week, we think that was a bit of a freak result, a freak day of defending. And if we can keep going and keep scoring up the other end and outscoring teams, then obviously that takes us to where we want to be come the end of the season.
There have been a few injuries in pre-season. You mentioned it. Squad rotation. How's that going to work this season? We've got enough players to give the squad some depth, keep bringing people in?
Yeah, we've got a fairly big squad, so we're operating off about 20, 21 players. Obviously with injuries that does make selection a little bit easier. But we've got real competition for places, and whilst that we weren't necessarily we were really unhappy with some of the injuries that we picked up in terms of the volume and also the length of time that these injuries were out for. They weren't just like rolled ankles, they were serious injuries, metatarsal injuries, meniscus injuries, big injuries that you don't want to pick up in the pre-season or at any time really. But what it did do is it gave opportunities to perhaps younger lads who may have had to wait on the sidelines a little bit longer, and those boys that have come in and really taken those opportunities and thrust themselves into the limelight going into the new season.
During the Saltash Borough game, young Joshua came on, and he didn't have long on the pitch, but he certainly made the most of it. Is that an indication of the sort of squad depth that you can have with young players like him?
Well, I think what that gives an indication of is how the cohesion works within the club. So obviously Josh predominantly plays for the third team, and there's bound to be times during the season where he will turn out for the second team as well. And he certainly made himself known to the rest of the club when he played for us the other night. So that just gives an example of the interchanging that we can provide between the 3 teams in the adult section of the club, which is really the purpose of having second teams and third teams.
Tall Point have done that really well recently, local side just down the road where they interchange their players in between the 3 sides to help out as and when needed. So as Dane said, we'll be looking to do that and to really build on that cohesion. I mean, I think with regards to the other night, the second team had a game away at Bodmin in our division, so we didn't want to take too many of theirs to come in and help us squad-wise, because we knew that they would have a tough affair down there. So then we went to our third team, spoke to the third team manager, Robin Duff, and he gave us a couple of players on the night, and as I say, one came on and got a goal, so that's good.
You talk about cohesion. I've seen the team play a few times now. There seems to be a lot of team spirit. A lot of times during these friendlies, the team have gone behind and come back to get a positive result. Is that a good indication of the spirit that this team has, and that can that be a real factor in the season ahead?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think Saltash have always had good team spirits here. I think the actual basis of our team spirit comes from the group of players that were actually here before we took over, actually when Matt was probably playing here. and then as people have come into the club, they've also bought into that, and it's evolved into what we've got today. But you're absolutely correct. We have got a good changing room, and we have really got a good team spirit. And Matt says quite often, never question the character of our side. If we are behind, we will keep going until until the ref blows the whistle, really. But yeah, the team spirit in the side is very, very good. There are big groups of friends within the squad, and yeah, they fight for each other. So
I think as well the fact that we've got a settled squad. So if you look at the turnover of other teams, sometimes there have been mass changes in the summer months, but ever since we've taken over, really, it's always been a process of evolution. Maybe a few years ago we'd have got a few more signings in, but now it's just the process of only sort of like 1 or 2 additions. We've got a real settled squad, really happy with what we've got, what we've built, and so yeah, I think the team spirit comes from there because they are familiar with one another and they just really like the environment. So
I think that also though is a process of us learning as well. We had one summer where we did sign like maybe 4 or 5 players, and it didn't really work out for us, did it? And I think from then on we've kind of just gone for the tweaks here and there each summer rather than the mass changes, trying to change things overnight, just gradually, small, like, you know. So I think that's a process of education from our side of things as well.
So hopefully that team spirit will bring you through in the league. You also got the FA Cup coming up soon, first game against Clevedon Town. How do you feel about going into that game on the 10th of August?
Yeah, be confident because we're the home team. We fancy our chances against any side at this sort of level, and even the Step 5, the Western League. We beat a number of Western League sides last year here, so we'll be confident going into it, and we won't take them lightly. It would be foolish to do that. They kick off against Tavistock today, I think, in the Western League. Tavi have just gone up from our division last year, obviously. So. We're looking forward to that tie in particular. We've got a game before that, so we're not looking too far ahead to the Cleveland game. Obviously, on the day it's going to be a great occasion, but we've got Callington first, so our attention will be firmly on them.
I think what's telling about Cleveland though is they're a step above us, but they certainly aren't taking us lightly because we know they came and watched last weekend. It was probably a kill 2 birds with 1 stone for them because we were playing against Tavistock. So we know they were there watching us last week as well. So people take us seriously as much as we take them seriously, which is quite nice to know.
Cheers, guys. Is there anything else you want to say to the fans before the season starts?
Just come and support us.
Have we got that many fans?
Just come and support us. What I would say is our average attendance hasn't really changed since we took over, but the team has become more successful. Yeah. And Saltash is a town of 40,000 people, and our gates have remained the same. So if you are someone in the town who is at a loose end on a Saturday afternoon, then come up here and have a drink and watch some football, and we'll do our best to entertain you.
Yeah. Pre-season's everything to go by. There'll be plenty of goals.
We always guarantee goals. Just never show at which end. So yeah.
Guaranteed entertaining football.
We'll
we try
do our
to.
best.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
No worries.